All right.
Hello, guys. Huh? Guys, gals, non-binary pals, can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me just fine. Alright. So joining me on the comms for Grand Finals, two TOs who have poured so much work into this event. It's the Spreadsheet King, KLDR, as well as just basically number 2 in Command Ball PSH. Thank you both for joining me for this monumentous occasion.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on for Grands. This has meant a lot to Roro, so I'm always happy to support in his endeavors.
So if I'm a king, does that mean I have the power to levy taxes?
Uh-oh. that power went to his head way too quickly.
I'm afraid you've given him too much, right off the bat.
No, I am thrilled. I'm thrilled to be here. Gonna be sad to see this come to an end, but we've got one final race against two guys who worked incredibly hard to get here.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to briefly touch on this tracker before the seed gets too exciting?
My eyes, my eyes, my poor eyes. Yeah, so there's some funny stuff happening on the tracker. 6STT, love to see it. The family's looking good today. What's up with that 9? What's up with that 9 in OC? Who's scared? Who's scared? I am. It's not looking good. And DC with a 5, and everything else is, either very standard or pretty underwhelming. So
Yeah.
So I'm still not surprised that both of them are going for the Pride Land start. Just get the early EXP and just keep it moving. Hopefully the Pride Lands checks are early and not anything too late.
City Hall, by the way, just staggering that last living bone just in time before
yeah,
taking a death. It was very scary.
it can be pretty tight. If you leave Donald and Goofy on like some sort of attack other enemies customized setting, they can sometimes stun that living bones for you and keep him in place while you take out the other one, but a lot of times they just don't, and so you've got to keep a watchful eye on them.
Yeah. Especially if you don't put them on party attack. If you just leave them on the technic attack, you're kind of just playing a game of gamble to see if they're actually going to stagger the other one while you're taking care of business with the one that went into the air.
Something interesting to point out: 274,000 channel points have been wagered for this grand finals. So
Yes.
holy cow!
Of the Gamba.
Some big gamba happening in this and it's pretty it's really even. It's 133k to 141k, so it's basically one giant coin flip. So very fitting for the final Fresh Faces race.
No, I love to see it evenly spread. Chat, who here has a gambling problem coming towards the end of this tournament? I know I'm close.
And actually, commentators, if you look at this timer, I think we've gotten the world record for Fresh Faces seed without an important check at this point. This is usually the seed's halfway done 3 minutes in sometimes, but we have yet to find anything.
Where are they? Where are the checks? Where did you put them, Roro?
We've had enough. Overthrowing this tourney organizer. All right, and it's just paper. We start with 2 pieces of paper, actually.
Incredible.
2.
I like that the piece of paper points to another piece of paper as well, and hinting torn pages in Port Royal. So it's just paper all the way down.
Oh.
The little paper trail. S0nzero actually opting to, not even gather the 3 chests, see if he missed out on anything at all. No, okay. It was just like 2 synth pieces and a Blizzaga armlet, so saves him, give or take 5 or seconds or so, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I often like to grab those anyway. You might find a glide, you might find a finishing plus or an explosion.
Yeah, something good to kind of help carry the seed throughout. And if you're missing that through the entire seed, you'll feel it on the back end.
Yeah. Well,
But-
with the torn pages, I like the immediate poo push. This is a world that never gets faster, so check it early if you're going to at all.
Yeah, I feel like the moment it's noticed that you see a page, it's just a free, 6 checks. And not doing the minigame, I'm 100% okay with this. You just leave it on the table to think about it, maybe an hour 10 into the seed when you're like, 100 Acre hasn't been hinted yet. And I have a bunch of pages, so let's get to it. But we do have our deviations going on. Agrabah Shotgun hasn't really paid much out yet. I think the most I've seen is like an item boost, maybe sweep.
Yeah, nothing to get too terribly excited about.
Yeah,
See if S0nzero is going to be able to get this stall broken this time.
Yeah, the Fat Bandit's not giving him much help. Okay, just gonna go for speedster strats.
Ah, there you go. There's that limit tech.
I can
For a
breathe. So
shield.
far, it's not looking like a jet speed.
Not quite.
Not yet.
Don't worry. We have plenty of shotguns left to go. Now, these are our standard settings, right?
Correct.
the-
There
Yes.
are no caps for this final race.
Okay.
I think, and to be fair, and I'm quoting City Hall here. City Hall saw what S0nzero did yesterday and was like, "Oh no, I'm not going up against that. The world that never was mine." And honestly, I can't blame him because that was insane.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Glide.
And Master Form. So early Agrabah Shotgun has paid out just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I do not blame City Hall. Something with those, enabling the other settings. There's how comfortable you are with the content, and then there's how comfortable your opponent is with the content. And S0nzero showed yesterday that he is very comfortable with the world that never was. And so if you turn that on, that's probably an advantage to him.
Yeah, it's all about knowing your strengths and weaknesses and versus your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. So I'm glad he decided for himself to maybe even out the playing field, even if just a little bit, to make this a pretty neck and neck race. I'm gonna imagine.
Fortunately for City Hall, going into Agrabah pretty early as well. Gonna be able to pick up that glide, speed up that shotgun.
Yeah.
Master Form.
Yeah, well, Master Form early isn't bad. Having no magic to really pair it with kind of leaves a lot to be desired. It can be really good for mob fights, just with the magnet finisher.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's really not serving too much purpose yet.
And City Hall there also with the speedster strats to break that stall. Very nice.
Yeah, good knowledge check there.
We don't see it very often, so.
I did accidentally miss a donation during the documentary. Danimal for Life with a $20 donation with the comment Slava Ukraini. Danimal, thank you so much for that incredibly generous donation.
Thank you all so much. Obviously, we're here for two purposes. One, to see some of these rando racers show off their stuff, give them a platform, give them the ability to play the game, learn a little bit, get involved in the community. But then sort of the greater purpose there is this is a charity tournament, and so thank you to everybody who has donated, $6,500 looks like.
Yeah, absolutely
It's
nothing to sneeze
amazing.
And just to,
So
I need to double check here. I don't want to overpromise, but I believe that for this grand finals, we have 2 copies that will be given away. So we'll be taking 2 people out of the donation pool during the documentary and grand finals, and they will be receiving copies. If there's only one donation, both copies will go to the same person.
So,
Yes.
do you like video games? Then please surrender some money. Speaking of 2, we did get 2 reports in the middle of Halloween Town. One showed that there's a Valor Forum in SP, and then the other had Reflect in HB. kind of killing. Giving a little bit of a pro and con
wow.
to.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no! Here we go.
Here it starts. It begins.
My eyes.
One
Oh,
down,
man.
3 to go.
Now that also a proof in that shotgun with 4 checks left. It scares me a little bit. Oh my god, and Hori
3
and slide dash. What? Put it all back.
Get your mouse
It
distance chat.
scares me. Yeah, it scares me just a little bit. Where it's like there can't possibly be 2 here, right? Right. Peter Pan and a magnet. Okay, so it's actually
nice.
now it's down to 2. Now you really kind of have to weigh your options. Is this really worth it for the minute and a half, minute 45 that you kind of surrender to, get to the big weight of the checks? City Hall opting to go straight into OC behind S0nzero with that magnet. I wouldn't hate it to just go ahead and start killing OC. Granted, Cerberus becomes a little bit of a problem unless there's like limit form or a thunder here. But I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, OC and STT, obviously the big worlds here, so might be looking for tools for those worlds.
Oh no. Speaking of tools, that the hint that there's a reflect on drives is absolutely terrifying. We now know where 2 reflects are, and who knows how deep or where those are, which is just it's a little painful.
We did also get we got 2 donations. 2.
Oh,
3. Okay, we got some donations to get through. We started with a $50 donation from Dallin1016, saying, "Thanks for hosting such a great and fun event, less than 3. Dallin, thank you so much for contributing all that you did to it, between the pins, the Fresh Faces Keyblade mod, playing in the actual event. There was also the Roro Proof mod, and I'm sure there's like 15,000 other mods that I'm missing. Oh, and all the better TTV emotes. How could I forget that? Agrabotters, Mouse Diff, the Roro Proof. Thank you for all of the contribution. Obviously the donation as well. We had an $80 donation from Raiden. Thank you so much, Raiden, for that incredibly generous donation. And then Rafix with a $5 donation with, in all caps, yelling, "Yeeters help, Yeeters help, Yeeters help, Yeeters help, Yeeters." Thank you so much for that. We're actually now well over what we raised for Fresh Faces 1 by like well over 100 now at this point. So we're just, this is bonus points at this point.
We're cruising.
Yeah. Magnet Burst and once more in the SP shotgun. These shotguns are paying out.
Yeah, we've got some tools. Even though our only offensive magic is magnet.
Yeah, calling it offensive is a stretch.
Yeah, it's crowd control.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of crowd control with that magnet burst, I'd almost be a little ready to just go ahead and do what's it called, Bailey, just to see if that magnet's prior to maybe what's it called, Corridors fight.
Yeah, you could go for that. These guys are at Glide 3 as well. If you want to push even all the way to Ansem Study, it's not that hard to get there.
Pretty comfy. Raid says, "You know what you can do with magnet burst? I know where you can go."
Oh no!
I know where you
we
can
paying
go.
the family a visit.
Who is the family? What is the family? I keep hearing this. I don't know what it means.
You know, the family. The family. It's all about family, Kale.
Sean, you. I mean, I see the waters. Y'all are
The
crazy.
family is
Family
time.
guy.
Y'all are
We're
insane.
losing control very quickly here. Trying.
You had control?
True.
You
Honestly,
had
I don't
control to
think-
begin with?
No.
All right, step out of the booth. This is my tournament.
Look at me. I am the host now.
Yeah.
Ay.
Cunning Linguist with the $6 donation saying, stonks? That would be an interesting way to close out Fresh Faces too. Let me tell you what. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Dalen also contributed the stonks. The stonks emote.
Yeah, don't forget about the best one out there.
Which one?
ST this.
Oh no, not ST this.
I expect a frame 1.
Frame one
Turn
had
them
all of
on.
these emotes back
Yep.
on.
Turn them back. Turn them back on.
Pretty good mouse push from S0nzero.
Yeah, this looks pretty textbook here.
Give it all the way.
Oh, very
all the way.
nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Very smooth.
It's like he speed runs the game
Oh,
I think he's done
wait.
that before. I think he's done that a couple times.
once or twice.
What
maybe.
do you guys think?
That is one of those texts I sort of saw. The first time I saw it, I'm like, "You can do that? That's crazy." And then I tried it. I'm like, "Wait a minute, this is hard."
Yeah,
This is
it's a lot harder than it looks. Especially to only get away with Mini only using the like the retaliation once.
Yeah.
Is actually really crazy.
yeah. Anytime
if
you tries
you're-
to use that pearl, it's so annoying.
And if you're a maniac, you quick run it. And
Yeah.
it's
No.
insane. Insane.
I think City Hall
I saw
did
somebody-
do the quick run strat during the semifinals.
You know,
I think he did. In Rando, you might have like quick run max, and so you just shove all the way down.
we do have new content from both of them this early. I'm a little surprised, but I do appreciate it. So we'll see if City Hall missed out on anything post mouse push shotgun. Meanwhile, City Hall has only found an experience boost in TT1.
I was gonna make a bad joke, but I don't want to go.
No, now you've committed.
Mind yourself. Mind yourself.
No. Let us have it.
No, Roro, you never used your second chance the other day. I think you could use it here.
We were talking about shoving the mouse, and I was like, "You shove the mouse so hard that it gets PETA involved."
Oh man.
I know it's corner time for me. I know where to go at this point. Like,
Well, so far, S0nzero picked up a report in TR that said Agrabah has Thunder, which is actually valuable information at this point. So both of them
Yeah.
pausing to do a little menuing.
Yeah, I mean, if that Thunder is the only thing left in Agrabah 2, let's say you do Twin Lords and you find something else, it's a little bit of a time save you could potentially get over your opponent by getting that information.
Right.
okay, let's see if this timeless river ends early or not.
Show me final form. No. SCT has a lamp.
No, my sweet prince is trapped. He's trapped in jail. Oh man. Meanwhile, City Hall is just going for it.
Yeah.
I love this play. How many proofs in OC chat? How many?
We'll count the Promise Charm as a proof.
Yeah.
I'm saying only the winner's proof is in there. Let me tell you, that's what I think.
Ooh.
Bold.
1.5?
Yeah.
What do you mean half? What's
That's the
1.5?
line. That's the line. Over under 1.5.
Over under 1.5. Under. It's bait. It's all bait.
Are all the
There's
big
gonna be-
world bait?
No, not all of them. SCT stunks. The
what?
OC today, bait. It's going to be 3 more reports, another set of torn pages, second chance, and 2 fires. I don't know.
Oh man.
It's going to have a bunch of stuff. There you go. I guess. Every time you get a check, I guess.
That is saying the entire proof of healing will be in Olympus Coliseum. That would
Oh,
be
no.
absolutely
All
hilarious.
3 of them.
My eyes. For real this time.
What do you mean the
I
first two
haven't
times
seen-
weren't real?
No.
I haven't seen that in a while. All three of the same magic in a world.
I think there were maybe some 1 hour seeds that had a couple of those, but it's really hard to come by. You know, I'm also surprised, Ro, you didn't roll a triple proof seed for Fresh Faces.
Yeah,
like
we
I know we
have-
have,
we have
I know we
no.
technically have 4, but we've never
Yeah.
had 3 even. Then again, triple proofs are very, very hard to come by.
We did have one in Fresh Faces 1.
We did.
Listen, there's still time. Listen.
We still have this seed.
You still have this seed, yeah.
I'm terrified. We did dwindle down OC just a little bit with that blizzard on Cerberus, so not where you want to see the blizzard. You know, would be kind of nice to have it prior to Cerberus, but I guess it's better late than never.
Yes. Reflect is an HB2, by the way.
Yeah.
With one remaining check, I'm a little surprised that S0nzero didn't want to go check the other chests, but I guess when you have so many large numbers on the table, especially when you don't have to climb the world that never was this time around, that Reflect might not be as immediately urgent.
Yeah. One thing he could have in the back of his mind is maybe he's, finishing his shotguns up to, maybe try to find like a fire or final form or something to make corridors fight a little bit better so he can kind of amass a couple more checks beyond just the initial HP2 shotgun.
Yeah. I was listening to S0nzero's stream while we were waiting, and I know he mentioned kind of like sticking to his guns, do his shotguns, keep an eye out for tools for STT and for OC. He talked about wanting like magnets, wanting limit form, if you could get those. But he said he's like, I don't want to do anything crazy. I want to stick to my game plan, which I've got mad respect for.
I mean, you got him this far, right? Why deviate now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's the second chance for City Hall.
Yeah, I feel like the moment you start trying to metagame against your opponent is the exact time everything starts to fall apart. And Roro, I know you and I have fallen victim to that many a times.
I felt personally attacked as you were saying it.
I attacked myself there. Let's be honest.
S0nzero following
Okay.
up on this.
Yeah, it's better late than never. If you're not going to do it now, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
So, Blazara, already in OC.
Neither racer set
Go.
foot in Beast Castle yet.
Probably also waiting for a Valor or Wisdom. Make the most of it while you're in there. Especially with a Reflect hiding on drives. I feel like you're a little bit more keen to maybe gatekeep, the best places to level drives initially.
It is kind of interesting, actually. Kind of one of the Fresh Faces beginner strats has been do all of the death abuses while they're quick. But some of those fights you can also go for the 100 hits instead, and it seems like we're seeing a lot of players also go for that line. It's like, okay, I'm going to hold off on BC until I have Valor, Wisdom, Trinity Limit, so I can get through the fight quickly in a different way instead of trying to get through it quickly from the death abuse.
Oh, the proof of healing. Here
Oh,
it
no.
goes.
Here.
Oh no.
Oh, the magnet's big.
Oh,
The magnet's
hey.
actually very nice.
I actually don't hate the option to leave right now. I love this though. I do love this. With a second magnet, I feel like this is pretty free.
Yes, for sure.
And especially not having a thunder for like Hydra. You're only doing Pete to, have probably a pretty slow Hydra.
Raiden has having a wonderful time in the Grand Final right now.
Seed was great. Yeah, we're going home, Raiden. Just hold on, we're going home. Ooh,
Money
already
pouch?
pegged.
There's
Already
always
pegged.
something in the checkpoint. Always.
The family never disappoints. The family gave
Allowance
us
from the family. Love
lunch
from the
money.
family.
the lunch money, and a little bit of healing. There is love. There is love inside the family. Wow.
Money and mom gives you a kiss.
Not sure what family means though. It it's just the running
Lauders
gag.
is the family.
It's been kind of interesting. Here's where we're at currently on the joint tracker, if I'm not mistaken. The whole left
That
side
looks
is
correct.
very still has a lot. Wow.
Pretty meaty.
I'm wondering if S0nzero is gonna elect to stay in Olympus Coliseum.
I don't know. I really liked City Hall's exit point.
Yeah, same.
That felt smart. Because
Yeah.
Pete is 1 check and Hydra is 3. Is that right?
Yep. something.
Yes.
Which is not a lot. And like you mentioned, what are you going to do Hydra with?
Right. Unless you find like Trinity or something or a Thunder, it's just it doesn't hold a lot of value as far as like time or your checks per minute compensation.
Right.
So why rush it now when you can always come back with faster tools?
Right.
So I'll be interested to see if Sun decides to go ahead and do it as well. Did
Looks like
Sun
he might have
miss a
forgotten a chest.
Okay,
There it
he did.
is. Yeah.
Okay, good. Can never be too careful.
Glad that he remembered it.
Yeah, Blazara is kind of nice considering we haven't seen a bunch of magic yet. Oh, okay, that's actually a really good hint for that Chicken Little. City Hall got a report for
ow.
Chicken Little in OC.
What is this? Reports hinting checks that we don't have knowledge of? When did they
It's-
add that? Is that in a new
I
update of the
don't
generator?
know. Who did this? I gotta talk to Zach.
That's got to be a new generator update I don't know about. Mine only tell me checks that I've found.
You code in useful hints.
Useful hints. It's another checkbox. It's like, hint system and, set to first visit and then useful hints. Hints will provide useful information.
Deny.
Oh, for the glossy. Oh, that's right. On kh2rando.com, there is a glossary of terms. So like OC meaning Olympus Coliseum, DM meaning desperation move, and then what is a desperation move? And so like that is a thing that exists and is maintained.
Please do not dignify the family with an inclusion in the glossary. it's just not worth it.
Lauders, however, no.
Stop it.
Jail for STT is on there.
Oh yeah.
That's in the glossary.
I sometimes forgot about the glossary.
My sister's watching the finals with
Ooh.
me, and I'm trying to explain Rando very quickly. Oh my god.
It is a better true name for Zalden. I didn't even realize that. I never realized that it could just be Linda.
Wait, no. Zalden's true identity has been found.
Oh,
We can stop
no.
the search. We can stop the search.
Speaking of stopping the search, City Hall and S0nzero will continue our search for us, because we're doing 2 pieces of new content.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
S0nzero has Experience Boost, Magnera, Magnet Burst, beefy enough stats. Okay, starting this at level 18. Let's see how far he gets.
I'm gonna say at least mid-30s. Once that magic cracks, I think it's what for beginner probably around like 34, 35.
He
is when they'll start
wasn't
busting.
quite below half. That's really good awareness there by S0nzero. Kind of saw the experience that he was getting and going, wait, I need to take another hit.
Auto limit. I know that S0nzero knows how to use that.
Yeah, S0nzero is gonna get all the levels here. Ooh, okay. City Hall.
Guard break.
Yeah, found Wisdom Form. TT1 behind the station fight.
20 pouches on
Money
level 30.
pouches on-
I'd say that's a really good time to maybe break it to screens for himself. Or even Beast Castle. Oh! Level 34.
Wow.
Oh,
Level 34
yeah.
Promise Ground.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're gaming.
No triple proof today.
No, sir.
S0nzero, very happy with those stats.
Yes, I would say that's about as good as stats for mid 30 as you're gonna get.
While being the first person to step foot in Beast Castle with the Wisdom Form, Wisdom 4, having nothing.
Yeah, I do think it's a better heads up play to use the gun rather than magnet just to get the extra hits.
Right.
Yeah, just get through it fast enough. You're gonna get the levels. You've only got 2 forms, so you cap out at 4.
Right.
And with the boosted form experience that we have in Rando, it happens quick enough.
We did collect Valor just after screens as well. So both of these guys have two forms, one of them each are different. And S0nzero following up with a
Beast
different
Castle,
form.
and now he's gonna have
Yeah.
Valor. Yeah.
So we'll get to see what's up to Valor for on each. So I kind of like the mirrored plays here a little bit.
Oh, Master. Whoops.
Meant to go there.
No,
oh,
he
not
did
twice.
wrong again.
No,
No.
damn that memory. He might build up enough drive if he goes out. with
Aye.
Hear me out. Crazy as this might sound, if you want to restore your drive, go do the STT tutorial. Because
Hey,
at
you
the
good?
end of it, you
Oh.
you get your drive back.
Right.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, able to get through that section quickly anyway.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not doubling down on drive levels.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
just don't
oh,
have to
and there's
fight
the drive
anything
converter.
else.
And the
Oh.
Trinity.
Hey, oh, Trinity!
Oh my goodness!
What?
Do you think he's doing what I think he's
I
doing?
think he's going to. I think the stonks are.
I
fine.
think he's going.
Just
I
leave it
think
right
he's
now.
going. I think he's going. He's thinking
This has
about
to be
it.
the play, right? You know, you see this and you tell yourself, as soon as I get Trinity Limit or Limit Form, I'm going to STT.
Okay, it's
Exactly
time.
where he's going.
It's time.
Yeah, don't forget to put it on.
Not putting Hori on, I feel offended.
Stonks
That's the
time.
second time he's chosen not to put Hori on, and it does make me want to cry a little bit.
I know, I'm hurting. My heart can't take it.
First big bar, we're on the docket.
Big bar.
Alright, let's see what S0nzero's reaction to this is. Drive converter. Trinity limit.
Yeah, because you kind of have a two-way reaction here where it's like, now I have Trinity Limit, I can one cycle Thresholder if you know that strat, and now you kind of get to the back half of the BC check or BC1 checks a little bit quicker. So there's two different ways to go about it here. I like both approaches. Finishing BC, one going straight for STT.
Would you say how crazy talented these beginners have gotten that we can just drop one cycle thresholder, like just knowing that they're at least partially aware of it? Like that's crazy. To
Yeah,
me.
they're like, hey, yeah, they'll do it. We know.
Oh, he didn't put in Trinity. Oh no.
On the menu.
He might try to level up, get a sneaky master level here. Oh, he didn't. He didn't
If
have
he's
drive.
gonna
Never
have
mind.
drive.
Yeah. Unless he gets built enough to use Valor? I don't know. Hard to say.
Just
Gonna brute
swing the
force it.
Keyblade. Oh, Sweet Memories is so short.
It makes the best sound though, so it wins.
It's pretty great. Unironically, one of my favorite Keyblades.
I know Roro has an old clip of me just laughing uncontrollably at the sound of it.
Yep.
Oh,
Fire's
the fire's good.
That's our first fire of the seed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. If City Hall would have waited to just do that, I mean, it doesn't speed it up dramatically, but it is pretty noticeable. Fire into Trinity.
On the other hand, if you're City Hall, and I think this is kind of the line of thinking that City Hall has, is think of all of the stuff that you could potentially get in the entire visit of STT that might speed up Beast Castle.
That is true.
You might get blizzards, you might get thunders, you could get an explosion or a reflect. You could get the last two proofs in the Promise Charm and then just go beat the game. You know,
What would be crazy here is like a reflect, limit form, and 2 proofs. Talk about setting yourself up for the W of all time.
that's beyond stonks.
That's like, just take my money, do whatever you want with it. I don't care if you're embezzling anything either.
That's like market manipulation of some sort. Okay,
Oh,
Stitch.
pretty good, pretty good. So there's 2 summons. We have 4 checks left.
Now, City Hall hasn't gone to SP to level yet.
Right.
So it would have Magnera Stitch for that, which could make that even faster for him.
Oh, wait.
Wrong one. That's the phony. That's the
Where
phony.
did you say? Somebody, you said that was going to be somewhere, didn't you?
I thought it was going to be
OC. OC.
OC, okay.
It wasn't one of the bait worlds, so
He's
you
just
are
taught me
you are
to
correct.
say proof when you have winner's proof because that gets like 10 people to come back and tune in. Because they want to know where the proof is.
They're falling asleep at their desk and they hear proof. Like, huh? Huh? What?
Awake, I'm here.
Oh, still
So-
2 more checks.
Yeah.
These are deep.
And now
He's
to
thinking
STT.
about it. Menuing. Okay.
Following up.
Put it on.
Okay.
Good.
We have a
Hey.
race.
Beautiful finish from
Really
City Hall, by
good.
the way. Holy cow.
Whoa. Whoa.
Very nice.
That- That report though.
Work goes
That
hard.
report.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
It's about the last place you'd want to see that form.
Yeah.
But I think City Hall's probably happy about that hint because City Hall did go ahead and just push through Station.
Yeah. Yeah, so for some reason we have like a level 7 proof or something, or a final proof, you know, what have you. City Hall gets a little bit of an advantage there.
And poor Cypher. Like, I know he's a bully, but taking that blizzard to the face. Just...
That's cold, man. You can't say that.
Like, I
I'm
know
gonna
he's
give you
not the best guy, but...
I'm going to give you the cold shoulder for that one.
Corner! Corner! Everyone goes to the corner.
What, you can't handle a little freezer burn?
This ends now. Real, this is starting to look a little scary. So, we know of Promise Charm being on levels. So, if I'm City Hall,
Oh, no.
after STT, am I going to prioritize pushing places where I can get levels? Like, am I going to prioritize... I mean, I guess Screens has a hinted Valor form, which is nice, because especially with that one on forms and a Reflect hinted, I'm more incentivized to go try to grab that Valor form.
Mm-hmm.
We have, like, what, 16
Yeah.
levels to go for City Hall?
34. Yeah, 34 was the Promise Charm. It was like mid to late 20s was the Money Pouch. So somewhere in that range, which shouldn't be much of a problem. City Hall will absolutely obliterate levels with Stitch and Magnera.
I demand financial compensation for the crime that commentators have committed against chat. Any financial compensation is going straight to Project Hope.
You can speak to my lawyer about that one. And by speak to my lawyer, you're going to have to go into the depths of STT to find him. All right.
I thought you were gonna say that it was you.
Maybe
my
it is.
lawyer, me
Maybe I'm in
with a
STT
different
right
hat
now.
on.
I'm at the computer right now.
Lawyer's
There's
in jail.
Genie. All right, we're getting to the meat of the checks here in STT. Hopefully something breaks. Don't forget about the low chest. Okay. I got very scared. I was very concerned for about 0.5 seconds.
Very easy to miss a chest here, and then also in TT3. Resurgent Fire.
And a cure. Oh my goodness! The proofs of healing.
So what is Naminé holding on to today?
Get your Sag TTs out. The
Sag
Stonks market
TT.
is crashing. Stonks are falling. Yeah. All that for a cure. Yeah.
I need to put that on a t-shirt.
It's all that for a cure.
I went through all of STT and all I got was this stupid cure.
Man, between you, AB, and Raven, like we have all we need to start this t-shirt company now. Like
Holy cow.
I do love Trinity Limit in the struggle fights.
So good. Especially considering if you have limit, you don't get the form experience there. So the
Which I
faster
still don't
strat.
understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense why it doesn't. But if you have the two, the faster one is still Fire Trinity by a long margin. If you have two draws, it's 2.5 seconds. All right, mansion checks. What do we got?
Okay. Okay.
we missed the bottom one.
Go on.
Okay.
Now I was concerned for 0.5 seconds.
I always like to see how everybody routes through these rooms. Go talk to Nom. You need to go to nominate. There you go. Yeah, like I feel like it's very weird to try to route between the dining room, the foyer, and nominee's room.
Not nominate. Oh god, where is this check? Roro! What did you roll?
I would be leveling that almost right now, while I have technically unlimited drive here. But I don't hate the option. Just leave. Okay, this is good.
Chat is having a peepo riot right now. With
As they should.
there's Sag TT and Stonks flying all over the place.
Yeah, my pitchfork stand is open for business.
Yeah.
Anybody who needs one, come on by.
Where's my STT riot?
STT riot.
If you're rioting against Roro, 50% off.
Where's my ST trauma?
That would be more understandable than ST stonks. Ay.
Level 7 form would just be world-class entertainment here.
World class
I wouldn't do
trauma, you mean?
Sure.
As a look, sitting in the commentator's booth, whenever anybody would ask me, it's like, oh, who are you cheering for? Who are you rooting for? And I'm like, I want to see a close game. And if it's a best of 5, I want it to go to game 5. In Smash tournaments that were double elimination, I wanted the bracket reset. I would just give me more of the good stuff.
Good one cycle thresholder from City Hall.
Beautiful.
So going back to our joint tracker here at the moment.
Yeah, what's that looking at?
1s and 2s only now.
Yep.
I don't enjoy this. I'm a
Very
little
quickly
scared.
cleared out a lot of those jacks.
No reflex and no thunders. 40 minutes in.
That's pretty awful.
What did we do to deserve this?
Page is really either, right? Can play.
It's a tad concerning.
Who's ahead?
Nobody.
I mean, S0nzero's slightly ahead in that we have the Promise Charm, but it is far from decided.
Yeah. The seed is ahead right now.
The seed is
The
ahead.
seed is winning.
Yeah, the seed is currently besting both of them right now.
I mean, people were, in the Fresh Faces 2 server, organization server, saying, Rage, no Jet Seed. I think your prayers have been answered.
Yeah, at least not a jet seed. We've had multiple seeds that were already done by this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like multiple seeds.
We had a community record seed as well. Like,
Yeah.
what, 23 minutes.
Too damn fast.
I think that one might stand for a while.
Ooh. S0nzero's going to level limit for him here.
Yeah, I really like this play.
Is
Or-
he?
Are you
This is,
sure?
okay, so this is the same thing that City Hall did. They both
Yeah.
went here. I don't know, but I think it's just faster to walk in the door,
Yeah.
skip the cutscene, and leave through the save point in the
Yeah.
computer room.
Yes, I would agree. I do like the play of going up LOD, because now you have somewhere to level limit on the way. You have 2-minute fights left.
Yep.
Might as well do it somewhere where you can get the most out of it. You have 9 drive. I mean, you can use it twice. You got ethers, so you get as many limit uses as you want in that minute fight.
City Hall now with an interesting decision.
Okay.
Is going to push OC. He's got Trinity limit for Hydra this time.
Limit form's pretty good with Ragnarok, so
Yep.
Hydra probably won't stand much of a chance. The big question is when does City Hall decide to, pop screens?
Yeah, that's the content clearing difference. Is S0nzero took the time to level, which is kind of a big deal the longer this seed goes on.
Yeah.
The faster you go to screens, the faster your overall time is.
I mean, I will say the stats aren't, granted 17 levels off, the stats aren't terribly far apart. We're not in a lot of places where the ceiling is above where even City Hall is right now.
True. Yeah.
Really, until we get into many second visits, we'll be sitting at the ceiling for most of it. So I think this could just be a knowledge play by City Hall to maybe wait as long as possible for screens until he has more forms to make the most of it.
I have a slightly different concern. All of that was true, but I think the longer it goes, City Hall might use screens as a place to level the forms rather than the level.
Right.
So,
Which could end up being an advantage for him, yeah.
And I mean, the only form we can get prior to screens now is Final, in which you would either force it or plunge into TT to who knows when. I do like the play of leveling Master here.
It's just so easy to do.
Mhm.
This was like kind of one of the, I think, the biggest problems in the Dare Uki seed was they both had trouble leveling Master, and it was because Uki decided to sack OC, and Dare came here before he had Master. And so then, barring a drive converter, they were stuck to just like going to the core orbs, which is not fantastic.
No. It'll get it done. You just might not enjoy yourself afterwards.
Not having a good time.
No. I've been there before.
I've definitely leveled all of my forms in some awful ways over the years.
Got all the way up to Master 5 on this fight, by the way. Still
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, the only one that we haven't seen yet. Oh, there's that chicken. The
Okay.
information didn't yield much, so
2 non-report checks here at City Hall.
you know, I don't
Yeah.
think we've checked Keyblades in a while. I'd be eager to see if Light Darkness has popped up on a Keyblade.
I can double check that for us.
Spoiler Roro?
I won't reveal it if it's a.
Just let us know if we have it or not.
That's all I'm gonna do.
Just give me a clue, you know. Give me a call sign.
I don't think they have it.
I'm imagining like a base coach, like they do all like the hand signals or whatever for like steel bunt.
Just do this if if they have it. All right.
I like that we're having a very visual conversation, and you can't see us at all.
City Hall is going for some tower defense. I do enjoy. I do think it's a good time. Maybe this is that play we were talking about where he's gonna go get final and then head to screens and level up as much as possible.
If I have final, am
And
I
where
not
was-
going to try to go to TT2 or TT3, maybe to get those final levels?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, but you could also just level in TT3. Because you already that's another thing about beginner is you collect so much experience and so many levels along the way, where screens becomes more of a thing where maybe it is better to just level your drives on screens as opposed to focusing on EXP.
So you know that if you're City Hall, you know that Valor is locked behind screens. So you cannot use Valor on screens, and you cannot get your forms to 7 on screens.
Right.
But if you pick up Final Form, you can at least get them to 6, which is something. You do a little bit of Sora leveling, and then you pop Wisdom, and you finish off Wisdom. Maybe you do a little bit of Limit in there. I don't know.
We did get a combo boost on Wisdom 5, which is pretty good.
Combo boosts are nice.
Right.
Definitely do not underrate the power of those boost abilities. I think that was one of the things I told Uki when he was asking me. He's like, Kale, what abilities are good? As I'm like going through my list of abilities, what do I put on it? I said, anything that says boost.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, anything that says boost is good. I'm like, summon boost, probably not going to make much of an effect. Combination boost, probably not going to make much of an effect. But they're
You
good.
put it on anyways.
Oh
You
yeah.
put it on it,
Yeah, you put them on anyway. Combination boost, I think, is great, especially for Dance Call and Duck Flare. They're insane.
Yeah, but just anything that says boost, put it on.
RC boosts are insane, especially on beginner.
Whoa!
The amount of damage.
Drive Converter
Go
and
on.
Valor too, by the way.
That's our second one of those.
Yeah, and S0nzero is at
no.
Master 2 only.
Okay.
That Drive Converter might come in handy.
Especially if he pushes TT.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is probably one of his best plays at the moment.
Yeah.
The
It's the
report-
biggest world he has left.
That's exactly where he's going.
Yep.
I like
Okay.
S0nzero because S0nzero plays the game the way that I feel like I would play the game. And I'm like, wow, what a smart and intelligent person. And I'm like, no, we really just kind of have a sure approach to it.
Kale, are you sure you're just not playing the game
but
right
about
now?
City Hall. That's I'm so.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's so interesting you brought that up because I think that way about City Hall.
Are you sure you or just aren't playing the game right now?
I'm
I'm totally not running the seat in the background.
S0nzero.
What do you mean?
Listen, we just never learned how to spell KLDR's name, and so we just ended up with whatever S0nzero is for Kale's name. This is just so we could get Kale to do his own commentary.
Live commentary.
God.
All right. Where's the final form? It's post mansion fight.
Mais je ne sais pas, S0nzero. Je ne parle pas français.
I don't speak French,
how
so
can- How can I be S0nzero when I don't speak French? But that was the language I took in school. And my accent is garbage. And my grammar is terrible.
Raphic says decent French. As does Dr.
thank you,
Omega. I'm not even gonna try to attempt.
horribly out of practice.
I don't think I've spoke a lick of French in like 10 years.
Parle un peu de français. Merci. The nasal thing, yeah. What I learned actually is French does not use as many plosives. So like when you say the letter P, there's like a puff of air versus B, which does not. B and P. And then like French has, they don't say parler, it'll be like parler. And so like it doesn't have that little puff of air, and that's kind of like one of the key differences in the accent between like French and like American English, and even I think British English is kind of the same. Language is really cool, and it's really neat. And I'm a science guy, and so the science of languages is really neat to me. And also, my best friend is a linguist, so
It's a very interesting language to learn. It doesn't take a lot of time to get the basics of it, but once you start getting into the nitty gritty of it.
Oh no! Please don't tell me this final form's on Betwixt.
Okay,
it's not,
okay,
it's not.
okay.
thank God. Okay, just leaving.
Sorry.
Yeah, now you kind of have a choice to make.
Where-
Do you
Where are you
Hold
taking
up.
that, City Hall?
here? Do you go to HB2? Where
We're
you?
going to
Okay. This
Lovely
is
here.
fine. Yeah, you got the nobody fight.
Wow.
Exception on exception on exception.
Now with the TT3 push, we're only 5 levels away from City Hall getting the Promise Charm. We're on level 30 now, so make that 4 levels. We might get one more doing the nobodies in Hades' lair. But other than that, not 100% sure we'll... I guess we have screens still on the table. I think that no matter what, you're probably...
I'd be very surprised if City Hall, or if he doesn't go from here straight to screens. I'd be really shocked to see him not do that, because he knows that's where his last drive is. I know nothing. I'm sorry. Well, I'll see you, chat. Okay, I'll push.
City Hall has done this before, where we're in OC, we're about to get another check, and then we book it the other direction entirely.
Boom.
So,
There's the quick run.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Oh.
He did lose drive, so I don't know if we had any
I understand.
drive recoveries.
Probably. You've probably got 1 or 2 at this point. It's not something I kind of actively keep track of. And maybe this is a bad habit, I just assume that if I need a drive recovery,
Right.
I have one.
And even if
Because
not,
usually I do.
he did get the second money pouch, so he does have access to buy.
Okay, City Hall had to have jackpots for this fight, right? Because the number of drive orbs that City Hall got compared to S0nzero is stark difference.
Speaking of S0nzero, probably gonna have a much quicker.
Oh,
Oh yeah, just
that.
obliterated.
yeah,
Obliterated.
Those are the any percent strats coming in.
Yep.
Beautiful Hydra.
Yeah, Equations brings a good point about Magnet Trinity to build drive.
Thrown on Berserk. Potentially
Okay.
prepping for Hades there.
Probably.
So this is kind of S0nzero getting to explore new territory while City Hall covers ground that S0nzero has already taken care of.
Mm-hmm. And they each have a different set of 4 drives. And I appreciate Sun opting to level Valor on the way to Hades.
Yeah, want to be leveling something. You know, get those checks. These are 0 time checks. Yeah, originally we had what? How many drive recoveries were in the pool? Was it 2 regular drive recoveries and 1
2
or
and
2 high
1.
drive? 2 and 1, I think.
I
Yeah.
believe it was 2 and 1.
I was thinking, I'm like, I think it was 2 and 1, and then I thought,
Yeah.
no, there's no way it was that few.
And didn't you get? And the only other ones you could get are if you synthed them, I believe.
Yep. Or you can get incredibly lucky and get them off the core orbs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Ah,
you did have the what? Like I think it's like a 1%, 2% drop.
it's incredibly low.
I finally
Yeah,
got
we
one
won't,
recently. I totally thought it was made up until it finally happened to me.
We won't talk about the Dark Ages. What a time to play
Here we go.
Cage to Ephemerando. All right, here we
OC2
Here
and
we are.
potentially LOD2?
I like it.
Yeah. Guys pushing into these second visits.
Well, City Hall still has to clean up LOD1.
Our first Thunder
Well,
of the
we-
seed.
We'll at least get to see hopefully what's on limit 6 if City Hall builds up enough drive.
Oh, Deuce makes a good point about your drive recovery thing. Is nobody considering the synthesis trade-in? Like, not just like synthesizing them, but like actually like, getting the new recipes.
Well, yeah, also once you collect a certain amount of like materials across the seed, you know, you get the free elixir and the mega elixir. Is there a drive recovery along with that too?
I didn't know if there was.
I think it's just an elixir and mega elixir, but I could be way off.
I hate synth too much to know.
You have made your stance clear.
I'm not
And
sure
just
I
for
have.
you, Roro. It's okay. The next tourney I run will be synth only.
Crap. Oh no. S0nzero trying to get Berserk Quarry off on Hades.
we're
Should
gonna
clean
get
it
it
up
here.
here. Yep.
Hey, our first
Oh,
reflect
it's
too.
the last reflect.
How?
Oh,
How
my.
is that
STT
the first reflect we got?
And OC, our
Wow.
2 largest numbers, were both bait. And we still have 2 proofs unknown on our joint tracker, which, by the way, here's our joint tracker.
That's a lot of
My
stuff.
eyes. Poor eyes.
Okay, BC. And the Hall with the little save warp tech.
Oh, I missed the report in LOD on Sean Yu, so I missed that on the joint tracker. My apologies.
How could you?
Bear proof, you know, with every step, it's looking just
It's-
a little more likely.
It's pretty juicy. What a fitting end to the tournament for a limit 7 proof and a Yeet the Bear proof.
We could have both. I hate that. No.
We
wanna
used to
talk-
be a proper community.
I
Go ahead, Roro.
was gonna say I want to take a look at the joint tracker, but after we do Darkthorn, as Zach told us yesterday, do Darkthorn.
Yeah.
Do Darkthorn.
Do
Surely
the
it's not
boss.
going to be 2 times in a row, right?
I mean, it's a possibility. It's not off the table. chance is never 0.
Where does City Hall go
I'm like-
from here? Oh,
I'm
what?
like worried on their behalf.
Oh yeah.
Why am I
100%.
nervous?
Because this is scary. Especially for City Hall, I have 3 proofs and I've pushed so much content. Where is the stuff? Like,
Yeah, City Hall. You're an hour into the seed. You have hit multiple second visits. You have 35 checks, and there's still 3 proofs out there.
all right. What does Darkthorn have? Not again.
No.
It's the same proof.
Oh, no.
It's the same proof.
Oh,
as...
not Potters. It's Botters.
Oh my god.
There's no way.
Zach is cackling out there. He's the smugness of like, I told you, dude. Darkthorn is I can see it. Wow. What kind of seed are you rolling? Hey, listen, the seed's not over. We still have another proof to find.
Okay, so Porn Page on limit 7, right? That's our adjusted prediction.
It's waiting out. It's thinking about it.
Nothing through final level 3. 2 checks here for Sun. Pages.
Uh-oh. Yeah, when do you start cashing those in? You know, well, you only have 1 extra, so
I only have 2 of them. Yeah, I was gonna say like, this is starting to get out of hand.
this is
I might not go until I get that 4th. I think I want to guarantee myself Spooky Cave if I'm going.
Like if I'm
Although the other option's just not very good.
Like, if I'm S0nzero with only 1 proof remaining, I'm just pushing checks per minute, and it's an added bonus if I can eliminate it's not a report. So this HP2 push makes perfect sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of
You know,
checks,
and
and you
they're-
can eliminate it's not report 2 and report 3.
And your dead check is a reflect,
Right.
which you're super excited to get.
Yeah.
Like,
Equation's making
so
a
I
good
guess at
point.
that,
Go ahead.
I guess at that point, like, can we deduce where the rest of the reports are,
That's
or
what
at
I was
least
about to do.
likely?
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
likely are.
Limit 6
Oh,
super connection!
no!
So
Oh,
close to limit 7!
Oh,
no! Dad,
Oh
I'm gonna
my
keep a
God.
riot. Keep
Okay,
a riot.
City Hall has a choice to make, and a monumental one at that.
Holy cow, what a find. And hang on,
So-
S0nzero is 1 limit level away. I just noticed we're on limit 5
Oh
on
my
S0nzero's
God.
perspective.
Where are you going, City?
So
Where are you going?
Where do we need to go? We need to go do Darkthorn, and we need to get levels. So City Hall needs to make almost a straight beeline for these 2
3
worlds.
levels away. Oh, this is...
where'd you go?
We're going
Okay,
to do
okay,
Darkthorn!
okay.
Oh
okay.
no!
Oh my goodness.
And then
But
2
S0nzero
levels.
doesn't have final form for TT2, so what form are you going to use if you're S0nzero? You might use limit form here.
You might just use limit.
Oh
use
my
limit.
god.
And if he doesn't use it here, he's 100% going to use it on the mansion fight. Holy cow.
Okay.
Magnets.
Honestly,
Race
that's
of
fine. He doesn't
execution.
know, right? Like, this is a great way to clear
Okay.
through this.
Look how quick that fight was.
Now, keep in mind, City Hall does still need to effectively, like, with the worlds remaining, we need to go to screens in order to get those. Well, we're only 2 levels away. Screens are pirates, right? Those
Yeah.
are the 2 worlds where we're going to get our levels in.
The Thunder. There you go. Sun
Thunder's
going
so
straight back into...
nice to catch that guy.
Oh, man.
So nice to get Shadowstalker.
Oh, yeah, not 3 levels. It's 2 levels.
2 levels. Like, if City Hall goes to screens, this is it.
Final form was in the mansion.
Yeah, so it's fairly deep.
So it
Oh.
was STT basically required.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you weren't going to do auto
re-
limit,
That was indeed required.
Alternatively,
Okay.
auto limit. Where was auto limit? Was on
Valor.
Where did we see that?
Valor 2 or 3.
That's what I thought. Let me double check here.
Okay. Okay. City, it's time. You've done. Wait. City missed a chest?
No.
Why
It
did
was
City...
the torn pages on Rumbling Rose.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
City, City gets 1 level here.
Yep. This is experience.
I
This
don't
is second
think
visit.
Oh
City
wow,
gets
I forgot
2
about
here.
that. Not 2 levels, surely, right?
No, just 1.
He's gonna be just shy.
So,
Wow.
1745.
oh my goodness. Okay, so where does City go after collecting the torn page?
That decision alone, like I think decide. Well, I want to say it's so difficult to say decides it because S0nzero, while being very close, it doesn't really have a immediate reason to use limit form, right?
Right. And
Going for genie strats. Oh my goodness. Opting out of limit. Oh, this is crazy. The thing is like even if City doesn't go to screens, City is likely going to go somewhere that's effectively going to get experience along the way,
right. You're
barring
kind of down
a couple of worlds.
You got like Port Royal and some second visits.
Okay.
LOD.
Okay.
We
This
do have a
is a
mob
couple of
fight.
fights.
Okay.
We have a
Okay.
mob fight.
He will get it. He will get it in the mob fight before
Oh
throw.
my god.
This is fine. This is fine. And let's also keep in mind, S0nzero has about 50 seconds loadless extra on top of City Hall.
Yeah.
So we'll really need to limit, or monitor how quickly these two go into funnel fights. Because I'm gonna say it's gonna be within a minute of each other.
Wait, but S0nzero's leaving. We're not getting this
Ignore-
final form. I mean, we
Sacking-
don't need it, but
He might be just restoring drive.
Could be.
No,
No, he's leaving.
Wait, what? Oh my goodness.
He might be sacking forms entirely.
Oh my goodness.
or not even sacking. Like we might be using Wisdom and Valor levels here, which is a great play.
Sure.
Just unfortunately, the one
But
that's
not, not prioritizing that final, saying if it's on final form or if it's on a level 7 form, you just take the L.
yeah, we're here.
There it is.
Promise charm.
There it is.
Yep. City
Holy
Hall is
cow.
in go mode.
Before we start final fights, we did just get a donation that I'd like to touch on. Tiny V with a $1 donation saying, "My heart cannot take this race. Neither can mine."
Alright, City just needs to make sure. Yeah, City needs to make sure that he has customized the magic correctly to what he needs. He has accidentally casted Cure more times than I would ever care to admit that I cast Cure.
Yeah.
So
there's the
hopefully
thunder.
he'll probably do it on the menu into final fights.
I mean, look at these check counts, by the way. I do think that S0nzero, or I think that City Hall has this, but like S0nzero is right there with the check count as well. Like this could have gone either way.
Oh no.
No customize.
Oh no, no customize. Reflect might not be customized.
Speaking of Reflect, Wisdom
Oh
6 has
my god!
it. So our
Oh!
level 6 forms had both our Reflect and our Proof.
Limit.
Oh, no! I bet S0nzero probably uses limit for Twin Lords, right? Unless the check is here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
He's got to go.
He also doesn't have full
Oh.
drive yet.
Well, he can get it back if he goes into the shop.
Sure, sure.
Like if he pops Wisdom Form and goes into the shop. No, just going for it. Oh my.
3 drive is not enough for limit form.
Oh.
The thing is, if I'm S0nzero has proven that you can go through like these fights with whatever tools. Yeah, he's not gonna wait for the exact limit form. Like he can get through this really quickly with wisdom form. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, he has definitely sort of. There's like kind of the macro efficiency of like, oh, I want to level my forms while I clear content. But S0nzero has shown time and time again that he doesn't want that form leveling to slow him down. Right? Like, if he has optimal tools for the fight, he'll use optimal tools for the fight. Now, a lot of times, that's a form.
Right.
And look at how quick he got through that fight.
I think unfortunately now, especially oh my god, what a torn page!
Torn page.
Now, I'm gonna hope that this isn't the case, but if City Hall has not customized Reflect,
Oh, good point.
how much time if I mean, because we're he's
Might
gonna
get
use limit
limit
here.
level
He's gonna
here.
use limit here. So
Oh.
how much time do you save, barring if you dome or not, if you customize Reflect? I can't imagine that the time is, maybe more than 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Magnet Thunder.
Which
he
could
does have
be the
Reflect.
difference.
He does have Reflect customized.
Oh my
so
goodness.
It's Magnet Thunder,
okay,
Reflect
okay.
Blizzard.
Okay, I never saw him customize it, so I was just a little concerned. So Crisis averted. S0nzero not getting limit
6, by the way,
6.
for S0nzero.
Right. It was too much damage output.
No. He's too strong.
He went for Reflect Trinity, yeah.
All right, AX1 down.
There's limit form.
Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Do it again.
I still needs
Do
one
it
or two
again.
more.
Again.
No, it's gonna kill. Oh.
So tragic.
Oh, no.
my gosh.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Well, wait. Maybe for this mob fight, we'll see limit form again.
Maybe.
I'd use Master here. I'd use Master Magnet here.
If
I don't
he
know
does
what
the
he's gonna
speedrun
do.
strat, magnet to leap.
No!
Oh!
D.
No!
Just
no!
out
And he's
of
gonna lose his
reach.
drive!
Just out of reach for so long.
One in AC.
Oh,
He made
heartbreaking.
quick work of the mob fight, though. That was
Oh,
pretty
he's
impressive.
flying through it. He's
He does.
destroying everything in his path.
But now he lost his drive is the problem.
Do we have a drive recovery by any chance?
I don't
Probably.
know. It's just a fire.
Fire.
Raga.
Oh my god.
It's so tragic.
And it's like I can't fault the decision making. Like, I think the decisions he's made have been fabulous.
No,
I think they're
world-class,
great. But
Absolutely.
Just the fact that we know that it is right there,
Yeah.
just out of reach.
He might collect it here. I don't know. City Hall got some very unfortunate buildings. Oh, good jump. Good reflect. Okay, we're on to final.
Wow.
It's a how many domes, chat?
I don't think there's enough. With the way that our racers in top 8 and top 16 have played, there are not enough domes out there.
Wow. Oh, that's
Wait,
a.
did you
that's a
see the reflect
the
animation
rare-
too?
Yeah. It just got it off just a little too late.
Report 3 was on hostile program.
Yeah, that could be very unfortunate. All right, immediately into lasers.
No. Oh.
Baby reflect is gonna do baby reflect
Well,
stuff.
hey, now we get some.
It hit a little bit.
Wood action.
Like,
Yeah,
okay. Oh,
a little
okay.
bit short.
okay. We have items, right? I'm pretty sure I saw
Yeah.
items.
We have an item boost too, which really helps here.
2 item boosts.
Oh,
Oh, there it is!
Good.
Wow, I can't believe you got that off. I thought it was
I'm-
just a little late. All right,
GG's.
City Hall.
Wow. Your newest fresh face of KH2 Rando is City Hall. Wow.
This was an amazing race. GG's to both
This
of
was
these
a
guys.
beautiful finale to close on.
I could not have asked for a better race.
The only thing that could have made it maybe closer is the limit 7 proof, just since we've been memeing that the
I know,
entire
right?
tourney, but
Oh.
just such an incredible display of talent between these two.
Oh,
I think S0nzero's just going to go do
S0nzero's
Roxas.
going to do
This-
no,
oh,
drives. Drives.
What am I
Are we doing this for drives?
That's what I'd think.
Alright, I think S0nzero
Oh,
is
he paused.
looking at the race
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, S0nzero's forfeited. He dropped a GG's in the race time.
Wow.
Oh man.
Holy cow.
So, I think it goes without saying we need an interview. We'll see if we can get City Hall in here. We'll get S0nzero in here as well.
Oh.
I'm at a loss for
See him
words.
over limit.
Hello.
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 GG's, well played.
GG's.
I'm sorry you guys had to watch my final form fiasco with Olympus Coliseum.
Well, we were just wondering how long was it going to take for you to just get that final level that you needed for the Promise Charm? 'Cause it just felt like you were so close for what seemed like so long. And the thing was just like Sun is maybe one limit level away.
I saw he's at I think
One
he's at
limit
level
away,
5.
I think.
Or one limit, yeah, one limit
Wow.
use. So you guys were as close as a race could have been within each other. So this was a treat to watch.
Was I ahead most of the time, behind most of the time? I see I have 41 checks compared to his 45, I think it was. It just
I
disappeared on
think ahead
screen.
and
Y'all
behind are
were-
not words I would use.
Yeah.
Dancing around each other, so many similar decisions. The only way in the sense that S0nzero might have been ahead was that he got the Promise Charm early because of experience boosting on screens. But even then, you were clearing other content while he was doing that. So I don't think that anyone was particularly ahead or behind at any point.
And if
Yeah,
you
I
look at
don't
the count of important checks, that sort of like 45, 41, you have to realize Sun never made it into final fights.
Yeah, I was doing
Now,
final fights.
that's
for
time
some
that
time.
he was picking up checks.
I always like to look at when the guy who gets the final proof gets it, what's the other guy's check count at?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect because obviously it could be earlier or later in Worlds, but that's a nice little indicator I like to use sometimes. I was unsure about my Twilight Town push to get final form. And I think it was probably the wrong decision, if I had to guess. But I mean, I won, so we're all good.
I'm going middle.
Oh, yeah, it was it was a fabulous race. Both of you were clearing content just at a ridiculous speed. I guess the question for you, City Hall, is about an hour into this seed.
Mhm.
You had, I think, 35 important checks and only one proof.
Yeah.
What is that like?
So that's actually kind of why I pushed Twilight Town, because there was definitely better pushes, but I'm like, by the time I do all those worlds, I'm probably not gonna have all the proofs, so I'm probably gonna have to be pushing ones at some point anyway, so I might as well go get final form. It's kind of like, the more proofs I have, the more comfortable I am with pushing content that's gonna get me tools rather than proofs.
Sure, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Just
But also, it's easy to think you're losing when it's like that. But I did all my shotguns except HB, so I knew I couldn't be too far behind.
Yeah, we could call that Roro syndrome, where you just think I'm so behind.
Crazy scene.
Yeah, so he got the levels proof pretty early. Okay.
Yeah.
I
he
think it was the
leveled very
second one.
early.
Yeah, it was definitely his second proof. I mean, we went probably till about the 50-55 minute mark until anybody broke a third proof.
Wow. Okay.
So there was never
Let's
a
see.
point.
Yeah, it was on the Beast Claw, whatever his name is, fight, right?
Darkthorn, yeah. There
Darkthorn, yeah.
Yeah, there was never a point where I think either of you were were further away than 2 or 3 checks of each other.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
it was that tight the entire time.
I guess the question has to be asked: how does it feel? 112 people walk in, one person walks out, and it's you.
That's pretty crazy to me because I came in and I was new. I am a fresh face, so coming into this beginner tournament, I figured like, oh, I know how beginner tournaments go. There's probably going to be people who have been playing for years and just don't have any results, or people who are just like cracked for no good reason. And I also I didn't think I would get lucky this many times in a row because it takes a lot of luck to win a randomized tournament like this. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think there's only like 1 or 2 races that I really feel like I out strategized the other guy with how like what worlds I went into, where the other races I either just got lucky or they made an unfortunate push. So it's if you told me before, I wouldn't believe you, obviously.
Yeah. I'll say, don't discount yourself. Your execution is important, and you can't get this far without execution. Something that I tell a lot of rando players is, rando is rando, and sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you get unlucky, but you have to execute well enough to put yourself in the running.
Right.
And you consistently did that. You consistently had good movement. You made pretty good routing decisions the whole time. Were there some mistakes? Probably. Who knows? Everybody makes routing errors. Like it's impossible to route perfectly in any given seed. But you cleared content well. You knew strategies for boss fights. You knew strategies for mob fights, and those things are very important. And you said you got lucky enough to get this far. It's like, okay, yes, there was probably a little bit of luck involved there, but you also have to play well enough to get this far. So I've got to, kudos to you for playing well enough to give yourself the opportunity to maybe potentially get lucky. You executed very well the whole time. All I gotta say
stuff
is
like not dying and one cycling Twilight Thorn, that stuff is all really important.
Yes.
To quote someone who's really good at rando, the people who are the best are the people who can just basically ABN the seed faster than the other guy. That's like all the really good rando players, I've been told that's what they're good at. I will say I came in with a little bit of an advantage because I come from a speedrunning background. I'm the world record holder for Dirge of Cerberus, so I'm a little familiar with going fast, doing menus well, and I've watched a lot of rando content. Like the King of the Crown tournament was what inspired me to download randomizers. So I watched pretty much that whole thing. So I absorbed a lot of the strats that they were doing in the boss fight cycles.
Before we get S0nzero in here, I just have to ask, the dude Darkthorn proof of peace in both your semifinals and finals matches. Is that the thing that you learned the most out of these last 2 seeds?
yeah, dude, Darkthorn is excellent advice. Sometimes you have to fall back on the advice of people in the know.
Let's see if we can get S0nzero in here.
And STT is always bait. I guess technically not bait. In limit form.
Yeah, well, you were
was
talking
required.
about, well, it's limit 6. Maybe you auto limit.
Yeah, I can auto limit the limit 6. Sure.
Sounds
Hello.
Hello, S0nzero.
Welcome in.
Hello.
Congratulations, CD Hall. GG.
Congratulations to you too. 2nd place out of 112 is a very, very respectable run.
Yeah,
I
nothing
had
to
an
sneeze out.
amazing time. Amazing time. That was so fun.
We're so glad that you were able to join us. Thank you so much both for
Yeah.
participating. This was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tons of questions, but commentators, now that you got both of them in here, if you have questions, now's the time.
Yeah. Before we do, can we just thank S0nzero for that very generous
Well,
donation?
if we're gonna thank S0nzero, which we will, we got like I'm not even kidding, we got 10 donations in like a 2-minute time frame. So
No,
we
I
wanna take a
just I
pause.
didn't want it to be. I didn't want to overshadow it. So
No, I am aware of the donations and I will read
Okay,
every
okay.
single one of them. I just want to be respectful of our racers' time here.
by all means.
Well, we were kind of talking about, what kind of preparation you had coming into the tournament, what kind of experience you had coming in. City Hall mentioned, S0nzero, I don't know if you were listening, but City Hall mentioned, like, coming into a beginner tournament, he was sure there were some people who were going to be super, super fresh and super, super new, and then other people who had been kind of playing rando in the background for a lot of years, never really had a big tourney result or something. So S0nzero, I know you are a KH2 runner, so obviously very familiar with the game, but what was it like learning rando and preparing for a randomizer tournament?
So my main issue with rando was not the seeds where you ABN or AGN, because that I know I'll have the tools and it's not a problem. My thing was, how do you do fights when you're on low tools? How do you do fights when you do not have a reflect? How do you do fights when you do not have, I don't know, guard break? How do you do fights when you do not have slide dash? That was what was worrying me. So what I did, and it was a simple thing, I went to Dewey and I asked questions, which I often do when running speedruns, except I do not ask Dewey, I ask Podgy usually. But I knew Dewey was like well versed in rando and he would have the answers. So the first thing I did was I did 3 or 4 seeds, realized I had issues, and went to ask questions. So this fight I had this issue. What do you do when you have this? Do you know for when you do not have that kind of tool, what do you do? When you do not have a gap closer, how do you handle it? And so he provided me with a lot of questions and then a lot of answers. And then the thing was mostly do seeds, as I was mentioning yesterday. In my folder of rando seeds, I have like 70 seeds. Like total, I have 71 rando seeds. And this is all the ones I had done. Like I was doing them like, I don't know, during lunch breaks and stuff. And so yeah, my thing was, how do you... I needed to get that rando experience, right? Because I knew my execution would be okay. But the main thing was, how do you get that rando kind of brain, basically?
Right.
And that's what I wanted to train mostly. So two answers for that: do a lot of seeds and ask people who know rando questions, basically. So that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I obviously worked well for you.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Carried you all the way to second place in the largest KH2 rando tournament ever. The first time we've had a tournament break 100. So it was crazy to see stuff like that. And I mean, I don't remember if it was your semifinal race or if it was your quarterfinal race, but I think it was your Roxas fight had everybody in awe in the chat.
It was this morning, right? At like 6 a.m. Yeah. I know. That was today. I can confirm it was semifinals. Yeah. It was a fun time. Very fun time.
Yeah, I know that kind of when I went through, I did like a level 1 playthrough myself after doing rando. And for me, it was sort of a similar thing. It was like, I could do the world that never was, because I'm used to doing the world that never was with those tools. But seeing, it's like, how do you deal with low tools? What happens if you just don't get slide dash?
Like in a seed, if I get duck flare, if I get all the reflex, if I get magnets, I know how to deal with that, right? You just do the craziest thing that you have and that's it. What do you do when you have nothing is the main question. And yeah, yesterday was the main thing. Today we had tools, just didn't have a reflect for a long time, I guess.
Yeah,
so that was pretty much it. So
yeah, the first reflect that we saw somebody pick up was on Hades.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's actual madness.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't let it slow you down. So
No, I mean,
Either of you,
at least
yeah.
there was no Roxas, so we didn't have to do that kind of crazy fight without Reflect, which is way harder than most of the content. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I just quick run Roxas. That's the only way I've ever beat him.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
Yeah.
no, but it's good to kind of temper your expectations, like going into a scene. To say that like, oh, I'm going to have as few tools as possible, and then you can't be disappointed when you don't have tools. But at the moment you end up finding those tools, it's now you're through the roof, and you can just go faster.
Yeah. So then I kind of have a similar question for you, City Hall. You mentioned you have a speedrun background, and so you're used to the going fast, the menuing, which I think is an underrated part of KH2. Is how important those menus are and how quickly you can get through them. We see a lot of runners losing time to slow menus or menu too much. Knowing when to menu and know how to menu, I think is very, very important. But how much KH2 experience did you have, City Hall, and how much KH2 rando experience did you have coming in? And what did you do? What was your preparation like?
So I've been playing KH2 since it came out on the PS2, and I've played the game probably like 10 times up until like 2 months ago or whatever. I started playing FF2 is when I started picking up. I picked up the Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer. But like I said, I watched videos of it, so I kind of got it. The menu strategy is just the first couple are all the same with mixing the ethers around, and then I just real quick put on all the abilities I can and many of the equipment that I can. But yeah, as far as Kingdom Hearts 2 experience, I would say little to none before I picked up randomizer, and just like whenever I would see someone do something in a VOD for the tournament, I would ask the general chat, like, how does one cycling Twilight Thorn work? How does where are good places to get Master Form orbs if you don't have Drive Converter? And just whenever I would find myself in like doing something slow in a seed, I would ask the Discord, and they would always know what's up. And then a big part of preparation for this tournament for me was I couldn't do it for this seed because it happened so close to the last one, but whenever I would know who my opponent was, I would always take the seed and then play it and record myself doing it, and then watch the VOD back and compare and see, okay, where are they getting checks before me, and if the proof was here, would I have won, and all the just kind of seeing where I could improve my judgment, or if they knew any strats I didn't know. So yeah, I would say definitely learning from my opponents is big, and learning from the commentators as well if they say something that I didn't know. Like I learned I could skip the skateboarding section in Twilight Town.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Something you because you have to complete that in the any percent run.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as a rando option, is you can just quit out. So, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a lot of you, or both of you, did a lot of asking questions, reaching out to the community, the commentators, other runners, and just sort of seeking that help. So if you in chat right now are thinking about how do I get better, how do I get as good as these two, you just ask, and you just do it, and you try it out, and you see what works, and you see what doesn't work. Something I've always loved about this community is how willing to help we are, and so it sort of warms my heart to hear that from both of you, that a big part of your preparation was, I just asked people how to do it, and they helped me.
Yeah, that's even from when I started, everyone has just been so welcoming and so forthcoming
Yeah,
to be
sure.
to want to help each other out. And people, I think, really just want to see like the competitive scene of Rando grow, so that there's more people. I think there's more fun in it the more people that actually come closer to that top level. So the more people we can add, I think it's better for all of us. So I'm glad you guys were able to find some success and asking other people.
I
And
gotta
speaking of
say
the
the
community-
fact that you
sorry.
the fact that you picked up the game just for rando makes it even more impressive for me. Because if I look at Epic right now, I look at my count of hours, I probably have like 2K hours on the game, and I'm talking about the PC release, right? Yeah, I am at 1,500. The fact that you picked up the game for Rando is even more impressive for me, because it means that you've learned how to go fast in that game so fast. That just blows my mind, to be honest. Congrats to you, because yeah, that's very impressive to me.
Yeah, thank you. It was I mean, obviously it's more doing strats and fights than movement, but a lot of encounters in the fresh faces settings, at least in beginner, just go down to use Magnera twice. So
That's
Pretty good.
you can get by with that
You
a
got-
lot.
you got
And I
90%
know
of
I'm
the
not
game,
doing
congrats.
anything that's the most optimal.
Well, being KO.
But yeah, it's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That was it for me. You know, passing the floor to the runners and our other commentators.
No, you actually covered the questions that I had. I prepared two, and you actually pretty much covered the scope of both. So no, I'm satisfied with with what we've got here. So I'll give these two the floor.
I just have.
I wanted to say real quick.
Go for it.
You go. You go first. Okay. To give some credit to S0nzero, we raced. I think like 4 days ago, just for fun and for practice, and he beat
With
me. So we're 1-1 right now.
with a crazy Odyssey too, yeah.
The further you go into the competition, the single seed outcome is just a means to an end. It's clear that if one limit level was the thing that made the difference, both of you are incredibly skilled, and I think that even though City Hall did take this one, I think either one of you would have been deserving of the first place finish for sure.
I could agree, and I'll be very much looking forward to see you guys, hopefully, and along with the other fresh faces, continuing your rando journey.
Yes.
Along with more as more tournaments, become announced and more settings become present themselves.
Yeah, I'm
That
scared to
will
learn all
probably
the
happen, yeah.
data fights, but I'll be there.
They're fun.
Yeah, that's the fun part. I'll probably take a break from rando to focus on any percent, because I have a lot of things coming for any percent in a few weeks and stuff. But afterwards, I mean, why not? Like, take the league or something. That could be
Okay.
a fun thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would be great to have you both in. You have both showed tremendous amount of talent, and just like good people to have around.
Exactly. Exactly. Get the good people around you and ask them questions. They usually know better.
I haven't been able to execute on what they taught me, but I'll get there one day too. I guess I just have one final question for the both of you, since I think you guys played the most competitive Fresh Faces 2 seeds, as deep as you've made it. We'll go in alphabetical order, so starting with C. I'm just curious, what was your favorite part of FF2? There's so many different components of this tourney, and I'm just curious what the favorite part was for the two of you.
You mean my favorite part of the settings or favorite part of the tournament?
Up to you. You can interpret that question however you want.
I think my favorite part was honestly bringing it back to community nights when we'd have like 20 people in here all cracking jokes and oh, who's got 3 cures? It's I think that was my favorite part of the whole experience. Winning was cool too.
I guess.
For sure.
No, I really enjoyed our community nights, and if we ever do this again, the community nights are a non-negotiable aspect of it, because it's just that's really what I hope that the event converges to long term, where it's just us as a community just being able to play seeds and have those types of experiences. So that was a beautiful answer. What about you, S0nzero?
I guess there's several things, maybe 2 mostly, because I missed community nights because I'm being on a different time zone and it was kind of hard to be on them. But so there's the first thing, was the adrenaline when you're getting to final fights. Like, that rush of just pure focus is just amazing for me. I love it. But that's more the competitive nature of tournaments, right? About Fresh Faces 2, most importantly, first of all, there was the crazy organization and everything that made it so smooth. So basically, my first rando seed was a Fresh Face 2 one, right? And it was just so clear and so easy to do that it was amazing. It facilitated the thing a great way. And my second favorite thing about this organization was the qualifiers, actually. The fact that you had 2 shots at it The fact that there was so many people playing at the same time, and that you could watch the VODs afterwards and just watch everybody do their thing, and then the final focus and final fights and stuff, that was just amazing to see. Like my biggest memory of this will be the moment when I win my second qualifier and I know I'm qualified, and I just cannot believe it because it was a crazy seed. I think it will be my fondest memory of it all, basically. And also watching the VODs, watching the streams. Everything was just amazing.
You certainly left an impression after that qualifier. Everyone was talking about S0nzero after qualifiers. Like, that was the only thing anyone was talking about, because we were somehow well in the lead with 45 checks. It's like, whoever, I have to imagine that City Hall included can corroborate that. Going up against S0nzero is a very nerve-wracking experience.
Yeah, I had certainly heard the name before. My qualifier, on my first qualifier, I got in third on loadless, so it was, I almost didn't make it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, just and also the community has been amazing. Just watching the VODs afterwards, just watching Chad being excited for what I was doing and stuff. That was just yeah, a great time mostly. So yeah.
Yeah,
The whole thing was just a great experience. Good job, Chad.
So,
Indeed.
racers and commentators,
So-
unless you have something else to say, you probably know where I'm going with this, but I want to give you guys one final chance. Anything else that we need to add?
For me, just GG's to both of you. Incredibly well played the whole way through. It was a pleasure to watch y'all. It was a pleasure to have y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both for giving us an amazing race to watch. I appreciate you both for giving this tournament a chance. Not just to give us something to watch, but for Roro's sake. Roro puts a lot of work into something like this, so to kind of get to the other side and see it come full circle, to where we are now. To see a race like this really, I know, means a lot to him and means a lot to myself.
So with that, chat, I suppose I should say I have a surprise announcement.
Oh.
City Hall and S0nzero just faced off. Basically, they treated the other as the final boss of Fresh Faces. But what if I told you that City Hall has a super boss that he could now go up against? That's right, at 9 p.m. Eastern this evening, the winner of Fresh Faces 1 will be racing the winner of Fresh Faces 2 for the freshest face-off as our final seed of the day. So, at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will put it in the Fresh Faces 2 pings. The little bird, little puffin, little peffin, will be facing off against City Hall. We'll have Kiso on the comms. I'm assuming we'll get one more commentator as well for that. It is going to be when we give away our all-in-one collection. So we will have one bonus race that is the incentive that I threw in for beating our record for Fresh Faces 1. So yes, Lil Puffin and City Hall will be facing off to determine who is the freshest face of Rando. We have the fresh face, we have the fresh face the second, but who is the freshest face? We'll have to see at 9 p.m. Eastern, so I'm so excited to see you guys here in about 4 hours. So, racers, I'm going to give the time back to the commentators to talk about themselves, because we actually have 2 copies to give away right after this, as well as I want to also, give my thanks speech as well. But yeah, S0nzero, City Hall, thank you so much for playing and joining us here for this post-game interview.
Thanks to you again for the organization. Amazing time. I hope you all had a great time as I have. So thank you very much for everything.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in the Rando Discord, I guess.
See you in the Rando Discord.
Yeah, thank you
See
so
ya.
much. I will see everybody at 9.
Yeah, see you at 9. Good luck, good luck.
There we go.
I won't. I'll be sleeping.
Go to bed. All right, well, commentators, we've got a giveaway to do, and I've got some people to thank and some donations to read off. But before we do that, I do obviously, first of all, thank you both so much for the incredible work that you've put in TOs. I know that I've also done a lot of work, but it is just not possible without people like you. So I want to give you basically your victory lap, a chance to talk about yourselves. I know both of you have been part of the stream for a while, but take this time to talk about yourselves and what you're up to, starting with Kale.
No, let's go Walpy first.
What?
Ooh.
What did I do to deserve this? No, as I have said before, Roro puts in a lot of work into something like this, and Roro is a very near and dear friend to me. He's been with me since the beginning for this, so to be able to support him in such a monumental endeavor, organization is like this, even as small of a part as I can, give. Um, it's more than I can do for the friendship we've had. So, thank you for letting me be a part of this, along with everybody else. So,
Wouldn't have any other
otherwise, yeah, no, I wouldn't either. If you do want some more Rando gameplay, you can come follow me. My Twitch is the same as you see it on the commentator screen. Roro and I will actually be decimating the competition in the Valentine's ABN. So do come watch.
Absolutely. This and that will divorce another couple. Just mark my words. All right, Kale, you're up next too.
Hi, I'm Kale, KaleDR. I stream on Twitch sometimes. Ask me questions. I'm a teacher, but as my profession, and I don't teach because it's a good paying job. I teach because I like it. And so I'm always happy to answer questions, always happy to help people out. I see some like Wolf Scout both saying Coach Kale, and I love that. Like like that's what I really love. Like the figures that I looked up to in my life were usually coaches of some sort. A lot of sports coaches. Even like my dad, who I look up to, was my little league coach, among other things, for me. And so, happy to be Coach Kale, because we all know that I'm too washed up to win any races myself. But if I can help you win your race, then I get a little bit of satisfaction out of that. No, I just like to help people. Just like to do things, like to hang out. If I'm streaming, I'm usually doing some sort of like science related, like let's learn a thing together. Sort of the feel for it, as you might imagine. So, and then just got to echo Walpy's thoughts. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this. Got to flex some of my spreadsheet knowledge at the beginning, help us stay organized, which is a lot of fun. Y'all don't know how many spreadsheets there were.
Oh
So
God!
many.
There were
many.
hidden spreadsheets.
Don't look at the pinned messages. Don't look at them.
I'm in particular. I'm very proud of the FF2 qualifier results spreadsheet that we use to display to you all what the current results were, and that is pulling from cells that are on the same page but hidden and inaccessible to you, which we're pulling from a different spreadsheet that an entirely different workbook, where a lot of math was going on, and then there were hidden sheets on that workbook that were doing more math and more calculations, and I love that. They're so fun. They're so great. So this was, this was a lot of fun for me. Yes, I am a nerd, and
We're all nerds.
I had a lot of fun with it. But it's it's the thing that I can do to help out the cause, so that during qualifiers we could keep organized, and everybody else could focus on the things that they needed to do. Roro could be focused on some of that front end work and writing up posts and announcements and handling DMs from people and technical difficulties and setup issues and sponsorships and giveaways and donations and the streaming side and all of the millions of things that Rower had to do and all the millions of things that everybody had to do. I was able to add my piece, and so it was great to be a part of this. Just a very, very small piece of something much greater, if I may be so cliche. So thank you, Roro, for bringing me on. Walpy, thank you. It was a pleasure to work with you.
Always, Kale.
Thank you both for being here. But for now, with those beautiful speeches out of the way, it is time to give away 2 copies of KH 1.5, 2.5. So I will catch up with you both later.
Awesome.
Peace.
See you guys.
Chat, you warm my heart. Holy donations while that interview was happening. I'm going to read every single one. Because holy cow, I look away and like, what, $500 got raised? What? I also feel like I missed a couple people in this list. I tried to record them all, and I'm missing donations because there's just so many of them. I'm absolutely touched. In order from first to last, we had Danimal with a $20 donation saying Slavo Ukraini, Dallin with a $50 donation saying thanks for hosting such a great and fun event, Raiden with an $80 donation, Rafix with a $5 donation saying Yeeters help, Yeeters help, Yeeters help. I think those we already talked about, but we also had Punning Linguist with Stonks, Tiny V saying Punning Linguist with a $6 donation saying Stonks, Tiny V with a $1 donation saying my heart cannot take this race, Sabrina with a $10 donation saying GG to City Hall, let's get the big donos, come on guys. Amber with an $87 donation saying, what a finale, here's $1 for every IC found in that amazing race. Always with the creative numbers, Amber. I really, really appreciate it. Coxie with a $10 donation saying, Stall Gang signing off 07. Dragon Blast with a $5 donation saying, what an amazing tourney to watch and congrats to the runners. Indeed, every single runner should be proud of how they played, regardless of where they finished. Raven with a $10 donation saying, this was an amazing tournament and I'm so proud of everyone involved. Thanks for showing me the... Sorry, Tiltify is being weird. Thanks for showing me the love of the community and everything that came with it. Raven, we were so grateful to have you. Thank you so much. S0nzero with a $200 donation. Saying, stumbled on the last step, but huge GGs to City Hall. Amazing tourney. I had an amazing time. Now I want people to hear this. Come do any percent. I swear it's fun. You know what? S0nzero, maybe I'll give it one try. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do an any percent run. Maybe I'll do a coached race with Met teaching me in the background or something. Or maybe S0nzero coaches me through my first any percent run. We'll see. City Hall with a $62 donation, which I think put us over at $7,000 with the comment saying, GG's, GG's indeed, City Hall. Lands with a $13 donation saying, amazing event. Only amazing because of amazing participants like you, Lands. Thank you so much. Abrink with the $10 donation saying, thank you for the great tourney. Heart, congrats to both runners. Thank you so much, Brink, and indeed, congrats to both of these runners. Marscat with a $10 donation saying, thank you for your amazing work, Roro. Marscat, thank you for your amazing work. I know that we've tried to break the language barrier and bring the randomizer over to our Dutch-speaking community, or German-speaking community, rather. Deutsch. There we go, because I'm getting tripped up between the both of them. But thank you so much for all the help that you've done on that front. And last but most certainly not least is C3PO with a $111.16 donation saying GG's Go 7.5. Yeah. Wow. Thank you all so much for those incredible donations. And you know how we're going to reward those donations? We're going to give away 2 copies of KH 1.5, 2.5 on PC. So I should have our selector ready to go. Look at all of these incredible names. 2 people off this list will win a copy of KH 1.5, 2.5 on PC. So once you win one, however, we will be removing your name out of the list, so you cannot win both copies for your one donation. So 2 copies. Amber says, please take me out of the raffle. I can do that. Thank you for letting me know. Just tell it to pick 2. Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that. Reading is difficult, chat. You know, listen. You're not going to call me out. So yeah. We already know you can't read. That's true. But that's not as dramatic. You know what? That's a good point. It's not as dramatic. So we'll go one at a time. So the first winner of a copy of KH 1.5, 2.5 on PC is... Punning Linguist. Punning Linguist, congratulations on winning a copy of KH 1.5, 2.5 on PC. We'll be in talks about getting you that copy shortly. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget to reach out later. So after taking Punning Linguist out of the running, for the second copy. Copy? I could use a coffee, though, too. The next winner is... Lands of Masters. Congratulations. You are the second winner of a copy of Cage 1.5, 2.5 on PC. Thank you so much for both of your incredibly generous donations. Now, if you did not win, have no fear. We do still have one more giveaway for the all-in-one collection. Now, all donations that happen after this time are... Oh, Lance Master says I'm way behind. Yes, it was you, Lance. So any donation after this very moment will be eligible for the all-in-one package that we will give away at the end of the freshest face-off at 9 p.m. Eastern. Glad it's done. The tourney, or the tourney proper. We do have DLC, if you will. Fresh Faces 2 DLC. But yeah. We're done. We have our new fresh face of Rando. Rebirth. I do want to briefly talk a bit about just what Fresh Faces 2 meant to me and where we go from here. Because I want to, after the incentive, I'm sure all of our TOs and myself will need some much needed sleep. So I'm going to take this time to talk about all things Fresh Faces 2. I think I've earned at least that much. Yes, I do want to give credit Timbo. That was Timbo's idea to make the Fresh Faces 1 versus Fresh Faces 2 winners face off. That was Timbo's idea. Thank you so much. I forgot to give you credit. I meant to. I swear. That was a very, very, very good suggestion. And we wanted to keep it secret because I thought it would be really, really interesting to make that a surprise. But yeah. I just want to quickly give a massive thank you to everyone who helped with the event. Like, I know I put in a ridiculous amount of work, but it's truly not possible to make this event work without a real village of people who helped. So among the people that I want to thank is obviously every single TO. The TOs put up race times, monitored qualifiers, made spreadsheets, helped make rulings, provided so much emotional support. They went above and beyond this year. So the TOs were just absolutely incredible, and without them, this event just doesn't happen. Thank you to our restreamers in other languages: So, Cesar, Bublo, Chemigoku, Fiesel, and Sigma, T Sigma, and all of their teams that they use to make the restreams possible. Thank you so much for helping the Cage 2 Rando break down language barriers. I think that's something really important to do, and I'm glad that we were able to break down that barrier, even if it's just the starting point. Obviously, thank you so much to all the commentators. I know I tried to get a unique batch of commentators. And when I say commentators, I also mean the ones that commentated not in English. So all of you that were on Speed Gaming, on Speedruns Espanol, and Randomizer Brazil, thank you so much for commentating in a different language. That's absolutely huge. So all of you who provided your unique insight into the rando, it's incredibly helpful. Obviously, thank you so much to Ryu Rush for that incredible player trailer that really, I think, summarizes the event better than any one seed can, because it really showcased just how many wonderful people we got to try out such an amazing event for charity. Thank you to Geek for the incredible layout that he made for our tournament. Like, anytime that you actually got to watch the race, it's because of him and walking my dumbass through the process of learning this this package. So thank you so much to Geek. Obviously, thank you so much to anyone who donated. I know not everyone is willing and able to, and when I say donate, I do mean more than just financially. If you watched any of the races, the documentary, if you referred a friend to Fresh Faces, all of that helps. So to any of you who've donated any sort of effort or contribution to this tourney, your efforts aren't unnoticed, and I'm really, really grateful for it. Nodoy, I have to thank all 112 of you that played at least one qualifier. That's an insane number, and I think we shattered what the previous record was for the largest KH2 tourney ever, or KH2 rando tourney. It's just absolutely insane that we got there. When I first started in the KH2 rando, I didn't really know where to turn to, because I think at first glance, even though it's a wonderful and welcoming place, the KH2 rando Discord can be overwhelming on a first entry. And the first thing I did was go to the self-advertisement channel, and I went to the first channel that I could find just to ask questions, because I was like, this is really overwhelming, and that person was WalPSH. So that decision to stop into someone's stream and just hang out, and I think at the time Walpy was like just getting started. It was like I was his only viewer, and you know, racing against him is a huge motivator for why Fresh Faces existed in the first place. I wanted it to be more of those initial moments where you can meet these incredible people over a shared interest. So if there were any people who got excited about the KH2 rando and like met someone that they play the KH2 rando with, like Walpy and I did, then in my eyes, Fresh Faces 2, or any Fresh Faces at that point, is a success. We needed to react to some old races, if we can find them, yeah, because they were, it was crazy. I think that like those initial moments of KH2 rando chaos are some of the most beautiful moments you'll experience, and so I love running this tourney because I get to see myself through everyone else who's getting started. Like that nostalgia hits really hard. I do also want to briefly talk about something that I know I've mentioned in passing, and it's been memed around in our chat. And the question's got to be asked: when is Fresh Faces 3? Or rather, let's back up a second. Is there going to be a Fresh Faces 3? The short answer is I really hope so. I love doing this. Like, I don't know if it shows, but like I fucking love doing this with all of its stress, with all of its organization, with all of its skills that I'm definitely not equipped to handle. I love doing it. Like, seeing new people get such a welcoming treatment is everything to me. And I'm hoping that people who played in either of the Fresh Faces event feel like it showed that I wanted to create an event that I would want to be a part of when I was starting out. The longer answer is life has a lot more variance than any rando seed that you've ever played. So I don't care how crazy your seeds were, but in about a year's time, I'm going to be in a pretty different state of my life. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, and I hope that I'll be in a place where I could still potentially do something like this. But I don't feel comfortable promising it for several reasons. One of them being that like I just don't know where I'll be. But another reason is that this took, I'm not even joking, I think from an organizational perspective, took well over 40 people. That's a lot of people to get roped into an event like this. Just on the sheer, pressure to make Fresh Faces 3 happen, right? Like, if I want to do Fresh Faces 3, I want to make sure that I do it having learned all the lessons that I learned in Fresh Faces 2. And I think that it was clear that there were changes we made in Fresh Faces 2 based on what I learned from Fresh Faces 1, and that iterative cycle is going to continue. But, like, the commentators, and I've told them not to say this, but, like, they were right in the sense that I work really fucking hard on this. Because, like many of you know, I DM'd, I think, over 200 people personally with no copy pasta to come play in this event. Like, between the outreach, between coordinating all the edits and the organization of the races, like, there's just so much shit, if you will, to do in my position. And I love doing it, don't get me wrong, but it is a lot of fucking work, right? So I want to make sure that if I go through this process again, I'm in a place where I feel it's capable of being done. And that being said, I am going to try very, very hard to make it happen. This is not me saying that I don't want to or that I'm not going to. It's just that there are a lot of moving pieces, and I want to make sure that they are aligned before I make a committed statement like Fresh Faces 3 is happening. But there's also two caveats there that I kind of want to point out. The first is, I think at this point I've become really convinced that Fresh Faces 3 doesn't necessarily need me as the host, right? So many of you stepped up and were, either always in chat or always being an incredible TO or always giving great suggestions that I think that if someone else wanted to host Fresh Faces 3 and I was playing a more supporting role, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The rando community evolves with like who is at the forefront of the tourneys, and I'm totally okay with someone wanting to do Fresh Faces 3 if time goes on and I'm just not able to host it, because there's so many people that I think would be great for that role. And to be a little less vain, I'm not necessarily sure if I feel as pressured for another Fresh Faces to exist. And let me rephrase what I mean by that. Like, after Fresh Faces 1, I really did think I wanted Fresh Faces 2 to happen. But in the wake of both of these events, I realized something very important. So many of you have so many fucking brilliant ideas, and I'm so ready to be a supporter of those ideas that are more... or less heard, that I think should be more heard, if that makes any sense. I saw someone making like a summer school type tourney for people who want to transition from beginner to crit. People were excited about J Smarty again. People were doing the exact opposite, where it was like a super challenge run. Like, it's you guys have so many great ideas, and I don't feel like Fresh Faces is this thing that's like stands alone as like the only way to get started in rando, because all of you have such great ideas, and I don't feel as pressured to... not that the events that were ongoing were bad, that I was like, oh yeah, I have to make Fresh Faces because everything else sucks. No. But what I'm saying is, like, the volume of ideas and the volume of brilliant ideas is so much larger, and I want to see that happen. I'm so excited to be back as a player and just to join those tourneys, and if not join those tourneys, then support them. So that's about where I'd like to leave my thoughts about the future of Fresh Faces 3. I wish I could be a badass like Zed and just say, Season 3 is happening on this date after the end of his tourney. That was brilliant. I loved his announcement for 1 hour Season 6. I can't quite do the same for Fresh Faces 3. But regardless, thank you all so much for this incredible opportunity. It is... I shit you not, it is a bucket list level type of opportunity to work with Square and to put a lot of effort where really that effort is just an excuse for me to connect with old friends of the KH2 randomizer and make new ones, since it's one of my favorite interests right now. And, you know, when I was younger, I felt like a crazy person for liking Kingdom Hearts because no one around me did. So I feel like that younger self of mine would be so happy that at this point I got to at least I found a way to work towards a goal that lets me just bond with friends with that shared interest, right? And I'm so grateful for it. Thank you all so much for all of the contributions, just for everything, really. We'll be back at 9 p.m. for the DLC. And yeah, I will find someone to raid. I will post all the VODs as soon as I'm able. And just remember, y'all, Slava Ukraini. Thank you so much for everything.